minute by the hour. And so the real key to success today is being flexible and being quick to pivot and quick to move. And that's what we're doing. And that's why we're coming at you live off of our YouTube channel. And we will also share this via email. And we're going to just ask that everybody share this as you're watching it. And then when the emails come, we would ask that you share it with all of your connections via email as well, so we can grow these platforms. And we're going to actually talk about some of that tonight. So let's pick up. I think that it's important for us to pick up today where we left off. For those of you who saw Garrett's live today, Garrett Soldano, our co-founder, who really started all of this back in April, announced today that he was going to be standing down or stepping down from a leadership role within Stand Up Michigan. So we wanted to pick up where he left off. It is actually a good thing for everybody. As you know, things are changing, like I said, so quickly. And Garrett is feeling with what has gone on with the election. He has been with us from the beginning, obviously started the whole movement, and has said he was going to stay involved very intently and intentionally until we got through the petition drive and we got that across the finish line. And we've always been telling people we need to cross the finish line of the election strong. And we did that. And it's because of all of you. It's because of your hard work. It's because of your all summer. You were out there with me at the roadside cafes and the rest stops and grocery stores and parking lot and farmers markets, setting up your roadside stand and collecting those signatures. You were at our rallies. It was because of all of you that we got the petitions. And now we're putting the pressure on the Secretary of State. And we held the House. Again, thanks to all of you for your votes and for getting out there, knocking on doors and being part of those campaigns. So we know that we have the votes to turn back that 1945, to repeal that 1945 law. So Garrett at this point felt that it's just the Lord leading him to the next stage of his life. And so he made that announcement today that he is going to be praying about the next chapter of his life where the Lord would lead him. So we are fully supportive of Garrett. And he's, like he said, he's not going anywhere. He's still very much a part of the Stand Up Michigan family. And we at this point then need to pick up the ball and run with it to keep this organization, now that's not a movement, it's an organization, growing to the next level. So that's what we wanted to come on here and talk about tonight. So what does that mean? What is next? What's the next chapter for Stand Up Michigan? So we have asked Tony Nash to join us tonight because we wanted to, first of all, talk with you about what's been going on behind the scenes that you all are only this much aware of. I am not a techie. I am not the tech genius or the tech guru, but Tony makes me look good. He helps me with all of the videos, and he helps me with the web stuff, and he helps us with all of our communications with all of you. And so Ron and I felt that it would be very prudent to have Tony come on and explain to you what we have been dealing with, and not just us, as Tony will explain to you, what all conservative groups and organizations have been dealing with behind the scenes because of the censorship of big tech these days. And it is egregious. So Tony, if you would, I'm going to throw it to you, and I'm going to ask you to just explain to everybody what you have been seeing and what you've been dealing with on behalf of Stand Up Michigan and what other groups like ours are dealing with today.
Sure, absolutely, guys. Thank you for having me. And, I've been with Stand Up Michigan almost since the very beginning. And been involved with helping get the word out and get the message out. We've kind of been behind the scenes. I've met a lot of you watching. I've met you at our Freedom Fest and at rallies, and it's been an amazing experience this summer getting to know everybody. And my team and I have had just a blast really trying to get everything out to you so that you could see it. But as you know, we have had some issues with that as of recent. So I'm just going to kind of recap everything that has happened. I know some of the things you're going to already know, but there's so many things that have gone on that is really going to maybe blow your mind, maybe not. But it should certainly give you more motivation even than ever to stand up and to do what we need to do to keep fighting this fight. So Wednesday night after the election, the Wednesday following the election, about 11 p.m., with no notifications, with no violation of any community standards, having done nothing wrong, and deliberately not posting anything in regards to the election, in regards to anything that was controversial. We just really were kind of sharing with you ways to get a hold of us. Really kind of tried to fly under the radar because we knew this was a potential issue. But at 11 p.m., the night following the election, of course, this is when everything kind of went into crazy mode with the election and the votes. And then all of a sudden, our Facebook page of over 100,000 patriots and our Facebook group of almost 80,000 patriots Both got shut down with no notice, no notifications, still no explanation. We've tried to dispute it. We get nothing in return. They gave us no reason for doing that. So you all probably knew that already. Well, then the next day, Garrett actually started another group, kind of incognito, under a different name, not using Stand Up Michigan, just to kind of see what was really going on. And as many of you know, that group grew to 50,000 members within 24 hours. And as soon as Facebook caught wind of it, it got shut down unilaterally. Again, no reason why, no explanation, just kind of shut down within 24 hours. Well, then the following Friday following the election, Garrett himself was then told that he has been disabled from being able to post anything on his public profile or to be able to comment on anything or do anything from that page until December 12th. Well, what happens on December 11th? That's when the votes get certified. So it seemed a little coincidental that they wanted to keep him silent until December 12th. Then Saturday, we started getting report after report from you of things saying you're not getting the emails, you're not able to find us, you're not able to find anything that we've done, you're having a hard time finding us on YouTube, even some of our other platforms like Instagram and Twitter, having a hard time finding us. And so we've been trying to push everybody over to locals, and we'll talk more about that. So if that weren't enough, it got even crazier. So Monday morning, we get up and we all get on a call to have a meeting, and we're talking about some things, and something about the website was mentioned. So I go to the website about 9 a.m. and realize our website had crashed. Now, this is something that we host ourselves, that we work with some other firms in Michigan here who are supportive of our cause. We have all kinds of security measures in place, all kinds of two-factor authentications, all types of things to keep the site safe. Well, the site got taken down, and in doing some research, we found out that the site didn't just coincidentally get taken down. It actually was a very purposeful, deliberate attack to our server. For those of you that are techie will know what this means, but 220,000 hits to our server in less than a minute happened on Monday morning with a deliberate attempt to take our website down, to crash our server, and it did. And so our tech team worked tirelessly for several hours to get it back up and running. We've done several even further security measures, beefed up our server, and we're continuing to work on ways to keep that safe and secure. All while we're finding out and doing research that these attacks were coming mostly from Silicon Valley in California, which we know what goes on there, big tech. But these things came from all over the country simultaneously. So it would have taken a big money coordinated effort to do something like that. And so we know that we were under deliberate attack. So over the weekend, I skipped a little bit, and I'm sorry if I'm being long here, but I think it's important that you Patriots know everything that has happened, because it's more than just a Facebook page getting taken down. And it's not just ours, by the way. It's hundreds and hundreds of conservative accounts, not just groups and organizations or movements, but even individual people that have conservative thought have been taken down or silenced since the election has happened. So Monday, based on the recommendation from a large social media firm, actually one of the owners used to work for Facebook, so he has a lot of inside information, and he was generous to give us some of his time, and he made some suggestions. So following his suggestions, we actually developed a kind of a incognito email account, an incognito Facebook page, so that we could create another Facebook page. We did not call it Stand Up Michigan. We did not use Stand Up Michigan's logo. We didn't point it to Stand Up Michigan's website. We didn't use any of the phone numbers. We didn't use anything really attached to anything Stand Up Michigan had ever done. And within 2 hours, the only people following it were me and Ron. And within 2 hours, Facebook took it down. Now, you couldn't even find it. Me and Ron, even after creating it, couldn't even find it. So it wasn't like Facebook found this page. What we found out is that Facebook and some of the other big tech firms are monitoring our IP address. So anything created from any of my computers within my firm is being monitored and watched. And everybody that was an admin on those accounts is now also being monitored and watched. And they are shadow banning, what's called shadow banning. They're shadow banning all of our content. So anything that we put out from our own personal pages, even if it's not political, but especially if it is, they're making sure it doesn't get out there. And so 2 hours later, that page got shut down. And that was an issue. So we found out in doing some more research again that all of the IP addresses, all of the user accounts, all of the admins are now being monitored, and we're all trying to do things to just keep our own stuff secure, all meanwhile trying to communicate with you folks as well to make sure that you're getting the message out there. So the other form that I mentioned just ago, other than just banning an account totally, where they just wipe you off the thing, or they disable your account, or they silence you, they do what's called, and I mentioned earlier, is shadow banning, where they allow you to be available, or be on there, but not anybody to see your stuff. And so we have several instances where we've posted something and we can see it from our own dashboard, but then we go in as a different user and try to look it up, and it's not there. So it's not looking like it's taken down, but Facebook and even YouTube are blocking these things. And so that's just a little bit of what's gone on. There's more there. Like I said, there have been hundreds and hundreds of conservative accounts that have been taken down. And I wanted to just kind of plead with all of you watching tonight that we have really been pushing for folks to go over to locals. And the reason is not because it wasn't just a decision we made haphazardly. It was something we put a lot of thought into, and something we did a lot of research on, and found out that locals was really the best option to give us the community that we're looking for, the ability to be able to communicate with like-minded people, to voice our opinions, to voice our expressions, to be able to talk to people who could listen and understand and empathize what we're going through. And I know a lot of you have concern, well, it's $3 a month. Why does it cost money? Well, that's the cost that they charge us to have this. And you say, well, Facebook is free, or some of these others are free. And I will tell you this, Facebook is not free. It maybe doesn't cost you anything out of your bank account, but every single user on Facebook has over 5,000 data points on you. They know who you are, where you like to shop, what you like to eat, and what you like to listen to, what you like to watch on TV. And they've even determined, yes, who they think you voted for. And if they think that you are a conservative, they are monitoring you and they are banning you. So maybe you're not paying your dollars, but you're certainly giving them your information. And there's a large cost to that. And so we have actually worked very closely directly with locals and their team, and they have been very helpful in trying to get us the things that we need. We have now offered to everybody 12 months free at locals. So we have a code. If you sign up on our website, we can get you that. I'll make sure we put that code again in the comments here so that everybody has access to that. But you can go there and sign up for free for 12 months to see if you like it. I think that you will. But then we found out today from locals that there's a lot of really new, exciting features coming that I'm going to let Ron talk a little bit about, but it's going to be the place to be. It's going to be the place to be for patriots, for us to communicate with each other. We have about 5,000 members there right now. We want to grow that even bigger. And of course, if you have any problem signing up, we can help you with that. We're actually going to put out a video tomorrow giving you step-by-step instructions on how to sign up. But we've looked into the other ones like Parler and like MeWe, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have accounts in there. That's a good place for you to go to network. But if you're looking for a place that has a community that you can follow Stand Up Michigan, this is the best place to go. And it gives you the options that some of those other ones don't. And so I wanted to make sure that everybody knew, like, we're fighting the fight here. The attacks are not just, people making bad comments on Facebook. This is big tech directly watching Stand Up Michigan, which means your voice has been heard. They're listening to you and they're afraid of you and they're trying to silence you. So we are working hard behind the scenes to make sure that doesn't happen. And we need you to continue to stay in the fight with us. And we promise you that we will keep going strong.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony. And can you, maybe Ron can do this. I appreciate all that information, Tony, because that's way more than I can possibly fill anybody in on. And I don't see that side of things. All I know is we're gone, we're shut down. And so I think it's very, very important that people understand exactly what it is that we are up against. And when we at Stand Up Michigan tell you we are on locals, and we want you to go to locals, it's because we have vetted these programs and these platforms out. You know by now that you can trust us. You know by now that we are very transparent and very authentic, every one of us. And you know by now that we are incredibly hardworking on your behalf. What we're doing is for you, right? So when we tell you we're on locals and we need you to go here, this is why. And there's a reason for that. So I'm going to let Ron pick it up and just tell us a little bit about locals. Who is it that locals was started by, and what is coming that's really exciting that I think that people are going to absolutely love, and it's going to be a really simple solution and replacement to Facebook.
So let me start by saying, because I'm watching all the comments coming in, and I understand the Parler and the MeWe and all the excitement. I am not, and we are not in any way saying that you should not have accounts on one or both of those that you choose to, because you can follow celebrities, other conservative people who have millions of followers on those channels and get information there. Okay. You may not get that necessarily on locals, but what you're not going to get on locals or on Parler or MeWe is you're not going to get the community. If you'll notice in Parler, you're at Ron765, whatever it is, you got to follow somebody else, have them follow you, or you don't see anything. You're a little bit on an island there. What locals is a community site within the locals overall platform. It is branded to Stand Up Michigan, and everyone that is in there is a member of Stand Up Michigan. 85% probably of the people are from Michigan and were a part of our original Facebook groups. There you can share your stories. You can post anything you want, from videos to content to you can comment on anyone else's. And most importantly, for connecting with Stand Up Michigan, it's just like going to the Stand Up Michigan on Facebook. You're going to be able to see everything we do there. All of our content that you can follow Tammy and you can follow me, but you can also just follow Stand Up Michigan and you'll get notifications, which you can click on and sign up for. So every time we do a live video or upload a video or other new content, you're going to get a notification that it is there. And so you're going to be able to stay connected. And our calls to action are going to happen there because it's almost impossible for us to individually get to a large volume of people on one of these other platforms. It really isn't a way. And what we also don't know, and we don't trust, honestly, is that MeWe or Parler isn't going to get bought by Facebook. If we put 6 months of energy into that, we don't know that that's not there. Understand, here's an interesting one. We put links on our own personal pages for people to go to sign up for locals with the free 12 months. People send me screenshots. The link was blocked by Facebook. They won't let us go there to join. But yet people say, I'm joining Parler and they have a link. Most people don't have a problem clicking off that. Why is that? Why would they be allowing you to leave to certain platforms and not others? I can't answer, nor am I going to go there. What I'm saying to you is that we have to put our resources where we can join together and stay connected together as a Stand Up Michigan community. The majority of our stuff that we do, our lives, our information, our content will be focused specifically on our battle here in Michigan, as it has always been. And so if you can go there. So how did we get to locals again? We had known Mark Meckler, who founded the Tea Party movement back in 2009 and 10. He used locals, which was developed not long before that. And Dave Rubin, which I'm sure you know through the Blaze, was one of the people, either investor or involved in it when it was developed. And they hired some very high-tech people. They drew in a large amount of money to develop this platform. The great thing is with the tutorial that Tracy May will be providing and will be giving to you both as a link from this video, but also through an email, which I'm going to just stop for a commercial there. If you go to our website and sign up to join our email list, understand emails will never change. No matter what platform we're at, however a call to action might be, we know and you know if we send you an email, you're going to be able to get a link. And we're going to put our embedded videos sometimes in those emails. So you can watch that and forward that email or copy and send that link to that directly from a text or from your email. And so we can stay in contact with you there and we'll have links. I'm sure some of you are there. Those especially that helped us with the Unlock campaign had joined our email list. But we need to grow that list to hundreds of thousands of people because no matter where we go or what we're doing, we're there. So go there and sign up. When you click on our website, you'll see join now. All you have to do is enter it. It'll
pop right up in front of you.
It's right up in front of you. So join that email list. What you're going to get again on the locals is you're going to see how friendly it is. There are buttons in the upper right and left once you join. It literally will let you check things that are most commented on, the most recent articles. You can click on and just go directly to videos. You can go to most recent comments or most popular. You can go to only Stand Up Michigan posts. You can do anything from there pretty much, and you're going to be able to upload your videos and links to articles and stories, just like you did in the original Facebook group that was a public group, meaning you can put in there what you want. No censorship. Obviously, there's censorship for things that don't follow regular standards, right? Nothing illegal, nothing obscene, but you know what we're talking about. And we feel like this platform is there. They also appreciate us at Locals. Tony's dealing with those developers and the top leaders there. And when they develop new platforms, which we'll talk about in a little bit, they are going to allow us to use some of those things first. So we are at the cutting edge of this for our community. Again, it does not replace your profile in these other national areas where these other people are not. We're saying do this also, just like you did originally with Facebook and maybe some other platform. Is that right, Tony?
That's correct. That is correct. And I know, I don't know if you mentioned everything, but some of the new things, I don't know if you want to tease them at some of the new features.
Tease away.
Locals is actually now just recently added a feature where we can actually upload all of our videos directly there. So it won't just be a link that you have to go chase. You can actually watch our videos there. But we just found out today that they are close to being done with a system for us to be able to live broadcast directly from Locals. So if there's a chance we could get pulled off of YouTube, and any of these big tech companies are just probably a temporary place for us to be, and we're going to use them as long and as much as we can. But that's really going to be the place to find us, and you're going to be able to get everything that you got from Facebook there. And I will tell you, it feels a lot like the way it functions. It feels a lot like Facebook. You'll be comfortable there. Once you get through the sign up, I know it takes a few minutes, but you'll feel comfortable with it, and I think you'll really, really like it. So I encourage all of you to go try it out. It doesn't cost anything for 12 months, and I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you. And really, guys, the most important part of this is that so we maintain that community feel. And remember that this is why Stand Up Michigan grew so quickly and why we became so successful so fast. It's because we started out with that care component. Remember, Stand Up Michigan, we have 3 pillars. We care about the people in Michigan. We give them an opportunity to connect when we're being told to isolate, which is not natural or healthy for human beings. So we have the platform to connect, and that's what Locals does. And so being able to come at you live is really awesome because it replaces some of that. It really is going to replace Facebook. And honestly, the problem that we have as human beings is that we don't like change. We're very resistant to change, some of us more than others. And we've joked behind the scenes that Facebook is like crack, like getting everybody off Facebook is like, oh my gosh, how do we break the cocaine addiction? But it's true. And even for myself, I've gotten comfortable with Facebook, and it's easy to use. And so the thought of going to Parler and MeWe, and now I've got the Locals that we have to manage. It's overwhelming and daunting. And so, like I said, it's just a platform that is going to be the most user friendly and the most like Facebook once you get used to it. So we're going to do everything we can to help you with that, so we can come at you live. And we won't have to mess around with trying to, we go on YouTube, then we ask you to share it, but then we go on Locals. Hopefully, where we're moving very quickly is that everything will be off of Locals for our community, for our conversations with each other. And really what we have done, and you have to understand, Stand Up Michigan, it started with Garrett's need to connect, right? Garrett's frustration, and created a Facebook page. And then very quickly it grew, and it's only been, 7-8 months? And we have become an organization that has superseded any one individual. Garrett is now taking his career and his life in another direction as the Lord is leading him, as he's praying about. Ron and I feel very called that this is what the Lord has asked us to do, because we can be very effective in a very big picture. You guys know me, who have followed me. You know that I'm a really big picture thinker. And so from a big picture, where we're going with this, it's not about any one personality, a cheerleader, a sports star. It's not about that. It has become a brand and an organization that supersedes any one of us. And so that's why we're doing what we're doing, to try to make it the most excellent and the most efficient way to communicate with you all that you're going to be comfortable with. So I really appreciate, Tony. Do you have anything else to say along those lines with all of this?
I do want to say we've had about, it looks like about 30 new email subscribers come in since we started this live. They keep popping up. So good job, everybody. Keep doing it. I put the link to our Locals 12-month free promo code. I put it in the comments a couple of times, and I'll continue to do that. And again, go to standupmichigan.com, and it'll take you literally 30 seconds to sign up for our email list. And we'll make sure that we keep you in the loop. Watch for the emails from Stand Up Michigan. And again, I can't stress enough that our organization here, the movement that you all started, it's under direct attack by these big tech firms. And maybe you've heard about it online. Listen, we're not conspiracy theorists. This is really happening to you and to us, and we are monitoring it in real time. And so if there was ever a time to leave what you're comfortable with, go to something that's a little more secure. The advantage is not just like-minded people, but the advantage is it's secure, it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Your information is not being shared, it's private. Even in a private Facebook group, your information is being shared in mine. And so here's a place you can go, be comfortable and be confident that you're not getting spied on. And so
Right.
I just encourage you to keep signing up. I just had 2 more come in since I started talking. So continue to sign up, get those emails in, and we'll stay in touch with you. Stay in touch.
And please share this with your friends, your family, your colleagues, your coworkers that you know are like-minded. We've got to now share this and rebuild so that we don't keep going through this, right? So we build these numbers up and we know that everybody's there. We just need to pull them all into locals and recapture that group. We know everybody's out there. They know we're here, but we've got to find a way to quickly come back together so we can keep this moving.
And another great thing about locals, Tammy, is that with locals, they do have to put their information in when they join, and there isn't a cost, but you do have to put your information in. That does keep a lot of the trolls out. So what you're seeing even here, I see some comments, oh, there's trolls involved. Look, you're always going to have those, and I guarantee you're going to have those on all those platforms.
Yeah.
You're going to find very little of that. And when you scroll through locals and see the connections with people, they're going to be everyone who is pretty much a Stand Up Michigan person who's put in their time and put in information. And you're going to, with thousands of them there, it's not like it's not like you're going to run out of things to look at.
Yeah.
But here's the real point. And this is one thing that Tammy was talking about not being about one person, is we are only as effective. Yes, in the beginning, we had the Facebook group. It only grew to 400,000 because 400,000 of you needed an outlet and you needed a community, a place to share your stories and to comment on stories of others and realize we're not alone and to help each other out, right? We then, as we were taken down, we had already developed and were working towards a brand, which was Stand Up Michigan. It was in regards to look at the logo, the Paul Revere, the lantern in the darkness. Remember all the comments, and Tony and his team did an incredible job of creating the brand, a brand that you wanted to buy and you wanted to wear. When we started the Freedom Festivals, number one, we didn't know. Garrett's talked about it, and we've all talked about it how many times. Every time we held one, we didn't know who was going to show up. We didn't know how many would show up. It could be 100, could be 1,000. And look at the amount of people that felt like they were a part of a community and showed up. 5,000 at our last event.
Incredible. Incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah,
but
it is.
it wouldn't have been effective if it wasn't for you following and joining and feeling a part of a team. We know the Unlock campaign brought everyone together, tens of thousands of you who helped circulate all those things. So as we talked about with Tam and I were talking earlier, was think about the box check. When we needed to do a survey, 21,000 of you responded in 48 hours, and we turned those into the legislator. Check the box. When we went to the Unlock campaign and we wanted to get 10 or 15,000 of you, maybe 20,000 to help circulate, we ended up with 60,000 of you that volunteered to do that. And we got it done in record time, not because of our leadership or who's sitting here or our face or our brand. It was because of you and the collective voices that we put together. We turned those in and we checked the box. We fought the 1945 law. We ended up, think about it, we crashed the servers and the phone lines at the legislature to say to them, you are not to extend this governor past April 30th. And if you hadn't answered the call and made those calls, they would have extended her. But they didn't. Check the box. Think of all that you've accomplished together. And what I am most passionate about is making sure that we have one location. It will be our website driven, but it will be from locals as a community section. And then it's going to be through email and calls to action. And we are going to need you to have those calls to action be answered through those areas, because simply it cannot happen through normal social media any longer. And they know they don't want us to act. Now you look at what's happened. The Supreme Court ruled, right? Now we pivoted to the House races. You know, we were involved. We volunteered. We knocked on doors. We did signs. All of the things that we did helped maintain the House, and we gave the strength to the leadership who said what? They said, we don't have any strength here. The governor is popular. We got to be careful what it is we said. And we said, you need to read the comments listed here. You need to see that that's not true. These people don't agree with the governor. These people agree. And we saw 72 counties out of 83 that believed in freedom, individual rights and freedom. Now we switched, and what did we do? We have the legislature on here, even just as soon as yesterday. And what did we do? We put them on record, like we did the Senate on record, saying no mandates. We want you on record. No mask mandates. We do not want any of that. We can say that here, by the way. We then look at and we go forward and say, okay, so what is next? Think about where we're at right now. We're saying audits. I'm reading them. Audit, audit, audit. I saw somebody posted here because they've heard the news. Tom Barrett, Patrick Kolbeck. We're working with those people. We're working with National. I'm going to cover that in a minute. I know Tammy's going to come back to it. But I want you to know that we have a letter that's been gone to the Secretary of State. Tom Barrett is one of the authors of that letter demanding a full audit from our Secretary of State. Thank God. But it is because of the pushing. It's because of us. There was a lot of them willing to walk away from this battle and this challenge. Have to stay together. Tammy,
Yep. And we have put pressure, and you guys know this. We have put pressure on the legislature. We have been very vocal about saying, where's the leadership? What's going on? Even those that we know personally and we like, we're not seeing the leadership. And we have challenged them with this because it's not okay to just sit back and go, well, I guess, we lost. No, that is not okay. You need to lead and you need to listen to the voice of the people. When you have 72 out of 83 counties in your state, send a very clear message to their elected leaders that they want their leaders to fight for freedom, period. Well, they don't have a choice but to respond to that. And so we have heard you and we have put the pressure on them to respond and to quit paying attention to polls that were wildly wrong. We warned them about that before the election, but I think the polls proved, because you proved through your votes, they need to be paying attention to you, not the polls.
Well, and I think that we're realizing even more and more, I'm talking about us as an organization, how big this machine is that's fighting against what we're trying to do. But our legislators know that already, and they've known that. And I think that's why a lot of them are afraid. But what we have to do, not in a threatening way, we have to make them afraid of the people to not go along with what we elected them to do. They work for us, and we respect them and respect the office very much. But we have to hold them to the fire. And the fear that they have for the other side, it cannot be outweighed by the fear they have that we are going to hold them to it. Again, not in any sort of a threatening way, but that we are going to demand that they stand up for what's right and what we voted them in for. And we have the power to do that.
And they are responding. And so where are we going with this next? We are getting involved with Stand Up Michigan, and I'm going to let Ron talk about this a little bit, but where are we going? What's the next chapter? As we look back at everything we have accomplished in such a short time, we have become quite a force to be reckoned with. The eyes of not just the nation, but the world are on Stand Up Michigan, because nobody has stood up to tyranny and nobody has said, no, we refuse to submit to the tyranny like Michigan. And a lot of that has been because of your leaders who have been fearless. Garrett and Ron and myself and Tony and Pastor Jason on our board, we have stood up and said very vocally, if we all stand up, they can't control us. And we have encouraged you to do exactly that. And so the eyes of the world are on us. Ron and I had an interview. Well, Ron, you were out of state, but you were talking to me throughout the day. Well, I was being interviewed by the Austrian TV crew. We had an Italian TV crew reach out to us. There are more. I had an Australian TV crew reach out. I mean, the world is watching us. And don't think that your legislators don't know. If the eyes of the world are on us, they know as well. Absolutely. But there's fear there. And that's why it doesn't matter if you're a little bit afraid or nervous. It doesn't matter. Courage. What is the definition of courage? Being afraid, but doing it anyway. And that's what we're encouraging them to do. Just stand up and be courageous and do the right thing. Listen to the people who put you in those seats, right? It's not like Luke Meerman said so well yesterday. It's not my seat. It's the people's seat. They put me in that seat. Okay, then be courageous enough to stand up and listen to them. Come what may. Come what may. Because that's what we're all doing here. Right. So what are the next steps? Ron, do you want to talk about some of the conversations you've been having from a national level and where we're going? Stand Up Michigan is going?
It's an honor and I'm not saying a burden. It's heavy. And then when I say it's heavy, understand there's a lot of people depending on us. They're depending on our organization to have a platform, which means there's pressure on Tony to keep the platform up and keep everything going. I mean, I'm serious.
Right?
There's many people behind him, and the amount of work that they do and then have it destroyed by a social media platform is very disheartening. We know that from our standpoint, because guess what? We know who's in control. That is what is an amazing thing, right? We believe and we know that the real strength comes from above. It doesn't come from any one of us. And so because we know that, we continue to fight the great fight. Every time that we've been taken down, every time something like this has transpired, we're already moving 2 steps ahead of what you see. So when you saw us disappear, they go, well, maybe that's it. Maybe they're not going to be back anymore. Maybe we need to just go to another platform. No, we're already there. We know and have known that through our website, but it costs a lot of money, is to build a platform where all of our content, our videos can be stored, not just shared, but stored there for you to have access to those, to podcasts and programming. And when we say programming, we're not talking about paying people necessarily. What we're talking about, again, is attracting more content and good information, positive, truthful information for you. So about 6 weeks before the election, we were reached out, and guess what? Grassroots organization, the National Frontliners. These were people, again, from FreedomWorks, from the Heritage Foundation, from Eagle, and from a whole bunch of the national grassroots movements around the country. When they wanted to have somebody speak from Michigan, they reached out to Stand Up Michigan because of what we were accomplishing, because of all of you, not because of any one of us and, oh, I want that person because he speaks well. It's because of us and what we are connected with. They want connection to the grassroots, not to any one of us. Okay. So I participate in these weekly calls up to 4 weeks before the election. I get a lot of inside information. By the way, this goes all the way to Washington, went through people from a campaign. It went through people running ads and things during the campaign. It went through people from the legal side, people from Judicial Watch, people from the people you see on what was Fox News, now on Newsmax, now on other platforms. They were incorporated in these calls. And I can tell you that probably half the time we had these weekly calls, they asked for us to speak about what was happening in Michigan. Why is that? Because we were on the cutting edge of one of the biggest lockdowns, the biggest attack on freedom of anywhere in the country. You have people currently, as you know, that are saying things like what? From Tucker Carlson to whatever, that our attorney general is the most, socialist in the country. I mean, we know what we're up against here, and we have to fight for you individually and for our businesses. And if we can accomplish it here in Michigan, everyone wants to copy and duplicate this and create an area around the country. Now I want to tell you why. The reason they want to do that is we are not part of a political party. We are not a Democrat. We are not a Republican. And those 1 million+ new voters that we had in Michigan do not identify with a party. They identify with liberty and freedom. Those are the things. They are for different causes. And that's the one thing we see about other grassroots and the others that we see that joined on these calls. Therefore, Right to Life. What do? A cause. Therefore, the NRA. They're for a cause. Therefore, and so their organizations tend to be, if you're for this, I'm for you, and they get a little fractured. What we are is more of an umbrella. We're a group that can encompass all of those things, from the care and the inform, and activate all of you, right? So what we're saying is that our next step is to continue to bring you more, meaning more platform, potentially bring other grassroots people to speak and offer them some space, some programming, some links to our lives off of our platforms. We're going to be reaching out both in the state and out of the state because of these connections to some incredible national people that will speak directly to you. They're already reaching out to me. If I could tell you some of the people that call me on my cell phone right now from Washington or from around the country, you would be amazed, but they want to be included. And we're going to create a larger advisory board that's going to include people from in and outside the state, because we are creating something that's extremely special, and we want you to be a part of it. You already are a part of it. You are it. But I'm saying we've got to gather the rest of those people. So when you do get those emails, when you join the locals, we need you to get the people that are in your phone, the people that are in your email list. We have to have you sent to them and say, hey, this is where we're going to connect by large volumes for when we have calls to action to Stand Up Michigan. It's going to come here. so that they can get there. We need those 200,000, 300,000 people there rather than 50 or 60,000 as we may have had. We can't take 6 months to build that number up again. It has to happen quicker. And of course, it can happen with all of you. So those are going to happen very, very soon. We have some very interesting and unique programming we think will be very, very interesting to you and will lift you up on a daily basis. We'll end up with more of a programming schedule so you can time the times to watch us live and interact. And also you'll be able to see them at any time because we'll be storing them on our platforms.
Yeah, lots of interesting information, from inspirational daily devotionals from good pastors to content from Tony. We're hoping that you will maybe do your podcast. Kristen, Megan, and I, who you guys have followed and have loved the information we provided, will be coming at you regularly with our new podcast called Sugar-Free Sanity with Kristen and Tammy. We'll be releasing the new one through this venue, and then we are going to be doing regular podcasts. So Ron and I are going to work together to put together a regularly scheduled program so that you all know, oh, I'm feeling kind of down today. I need to listen to an inspirational message. You can look and see, when are one of the pastors doing one of their daily devotionals at what time? And you can jump on and you can get your daily inspiration and some encouragement. Or what about, a colleague that you're arguing with about some science or data or whatever? We're going to bring on experts who talk about that. What about from a mom's perspective? Kristen and I talked about that. We are both moms and have young kids in our homes. And I know there's a lot of mothers out there. Ron and I were talking about that want to relate. What about a men's group type of thing, right? So there's lots of content that we're going to be bringing to you, and we're going to try to work on scheduling month to month so that you can look at, what am I needing today? What do I want to join on? Or maybe someone like the podcast that you follow already, hey, every Thursday at 7:00, I follow this particular podcast or whatever. That's what it's going to develop into. And it's going to be very good content, and it's going to be screened, but it's going to be very supportive of our freedoms, our Constitution, and it will be lots of different backgrounds and varieties of personalities and beliefs. But ultimately, it's going to be those only that support our constitutional rights and liberties and our freedoms. And so that's what we're working behind the scenes to do. So lots coming at you. It's all going to eventually end up coming off of our locals platform and our website. So lots of information to share with you. But we wanted to get together on here and just let you know we have been working so hard behind the scenes, and there's so much going on that you all don't see. So just know and trust that we are here and we are doing all of this on your behalf. So when we point you a certain direction, you can trust that we've been vetting all of this out. And that's why, and there's a reason that we're doing this. So we look forward to connecting with you more. And I hope to see you all Saturday. Saturday is the big rally that I want to just talk with you about real quickly as we end this, the Stop the Steal rally. And everybody who is a who's who around the state of Michigan, and even some from outside of the state of Michigan in national leadership positions, are going to be there. It is from 12 to 4 on the steps of the Capitol building this coming Saturday. And so some of the speakers, it's going to be hosted by Kevin Skinner, who many of you know from way back when we originally started as Michiganders Against Excessive Quarantine, and Garrett and Kevin were doing the Beauty and the Beast podcast, right? I love the Beauty and the Beast. That's how I came to know this group. I was listening and following. And when I first met Kevin, I knew Kevin immediately by that beard. So Kevin is going to be hosting and he has pulled this together. So I'm really thankful for his involvement. He's going to be hosting this Stop the Steal event. We're going to have Philip Smith, founding pastor of Eternal Word Church, Ryan Kelly, the founder of the American Patriot Rally and American Patriot Council. Many of you are already following him. Austin Chang, I think I pronounced that right, Republican candidate for gubernatorial candidate for 2022. Brandon Hall, Michigan personality and candidate for Michigan GOP chair. Stephen Kara, who won the lawsuit against the Secretary of State over poll watching, the poll watching 6-foot rule. He is also representative-elect for the 59th District, the Michigan State Legislature. Kristen Megan Kelly, who you all know, if you've been following me, you know Kristen because we're kind of joined at the hip. She is a fellow PPE expert, toxicologist, and senior industrial hygienist from the Air Force. She will actually be speaking on some military things. You don't want to miss that. She got some insider information from a military veteran's perspective. She initially blew the whistle on the Air Force. That's how she actually, it's her claim to fame. Randy Bishop, Trucker Randy, will be there. Maya Hahn, West Michigan Regional Director for the Michigan Vaccine Choice Group. Pat Kolbeck, Michigan Senator and former candidate for governor. Yours truly will be speaking at 3:30, representing Stand Up Michigan, and encouraging, again, just giving all of you a voice. And there are going to be others. Like I said, there are some from the national level that will be there as well. And we are still firming up this speaker list. So this is one you are not going to want to miss. Again, 12 to 4 this coming Saturday on the steps of the Capitol. And hoping that this gives you all some confidence and a voice to stand up even taller, to speak up even louder as we move forward. And we demand integrity and transparency, and we demand courageous investigations and honesty from our elected leaders. So thank you so much for being with us all tonight. We just wanted to come and follow up Garrett's live to kind of pick up where he left off, because we knew many of you were probably feeling like, oh my gosh, what now? So lots of exciting things happening. And like I said in the beginning, we are just getting started. And what God has done with this group through you, through all of you, has been miraculous and historic. And it's really cool to be a part of it. So before we sign off, Ron and Tony, do you have any final words?
Just keep up the fight. Keep up the fight. Don't get discouraged. I know I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, that, man, you just kind of sometimes feel like, is it even worth it? Is what I'm doing even working? And I'm telling you, it is working. They wouldn't be so worried, and it wouldn't be so trying so hard to fight this if it weren't working. So don't quit. Keep fighting. Keep pushing forward. Keep standing up. I promise you, we will win this fight, but we need you. We can't do it alone. We need to stick together, and we need to stay in this fight. So I'm with you. My family's with you. I know these guys are with you. We've all changed our lives to stay in this fight, and we want you to do the same as well. So stay with us.
And the last thing that I'll say is I just got off the phone right before we get on here with Patrick Kolbeck. He's going to join me tomorrow afternoon between 2 and 2:30. He's squeezing it in with all the things. He was in Cobo Hall. He's been in the battle in the front lines of this. He has a lot of inside information on these affidavits and things. He's going to give us not only the latest and the updated information on some of what's going on in regards to the fraudulent information that they've uncovered, but most importantly, he also has a call to action. He could use some help of a bunch of people that would be willing to help with some auditing of certain districts in our state. He needs some help to do that. And we need to have people lined up and signed up to do it. So on that video tomorrow, we'll be providing a link to where you can go directly to and through him in order to sign up and volunteer. These can be done from your home. This work does not need to be done always from a location. So he's going to explain that on the video, but I asked him if he'd join me because I thought good 15 or 20 minutes of him telling a little bit of the story of what he experienced down there and being able to also answer some of your questions. So it'll be right here on this station live tomorrow afternoon between 2 and 2:30. So.
Yeah, great. Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Some firsthand live accounts would be great.
There's the link.
And I want to say too, yes, we have had over 100 new email subscribers since we've been live. So good job, everybody. Keep doing that. Share this with your friends. When you get the emails, forward the emails to your friends so that they know how to sign up. There's always a link in the email to sign up, to go to our website. So keep up the good work. And yes, the link is right there on the screen. It's in the comments several times. And again, you can get there if you go to standupmichigan.com, and up at the very top where all the social media links are, you can click on locals there. So there's so many ways to find it, but awesome job on the emails tonight, guys.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Tony, for joining us. I know that you're not normally, this is not your wheelhouse, joining us on lives, but we love it.
I enjoy it.
You're used to it from your podcast. You're used to speaking to people,
yeah,
and we look forward. I look forward to hearing more of your podcast as we pull you in to maybe do a little bit more content
about
for people.
Didn't we, Tony?
Yeah. We did.
That's good.
I'm excited about it. I'm not as good looking as Garrett, but hey, I can talk,
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. It's been awesome being able to come and provide you with some updated information. We appreciate you joining us on this Thursday evening. And make sure you join and you tune in to Ron and Patrick Kolbeck, because that certainly is going to be an interesting conversation. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say with firsthand live witness accounts. And of course, he's got a sworn affidavit and testimony that's been entered into this lawsuit. I was listening to it live with David Coleman, Attorney Coleman in Wayne County yesterday. While that was going on live, I was listening to that. So great, interesting. So thank you all, everyone. We look forward to continuing to communicate with you and continuing to provide you with relevant, timely, accurate information. And I look forward to seeing all of you Saturday at the Capitol. Thank you, everyone.
Have a great evening.
Thanks.